All right, we got one final note here on exploiting pre-flop leaks, and this is the player who has a 3-bet fold range. Maybe he's a no-limit hold'em tournament player who's a little bit button-clicky pre-flop. Maybe he's just somebody, a no-limit hold'em player who doesn't understand that 100 antes in this game is a whole lot less than 100 big blinds in no-limit hold'em. We should never flat a 3-bet against this player. If we have seen this player 3-bet and then fold with 100 antes, then there's no reason to ever flat. Our equity, when we shove and he calls, cannot be bad enough to make it so that it's that we should just flat here instead of shoving. I mean, of course, if we made it, if we made it 7 antes and he made it 14 antes, yeah, now we can start to have a flat range. But assuming we're facing a pot-sized 3-bet, right? Assuming we make it 7 antes and he makes it somewhere in the ballpark of 25 antes pre-flop, we are either going to fold or we're going to shove. So if we're inclined to flat with any specific hand, any hand that we would flat, we're now going to shove instead, because when he folds pre-flop, we are just printing money. Okay, equities run so close in this game that it would be a relative disaster for us to flat with this hand and try to play a pot against this guy when he has a decent chunk of his range that he's going to fold anyway. And we're also going to shove all in more than we'd think with hands that block an ace, that block his 3-bet calls here. So we're going to shove all in with ace-x suited type hands, the ace-8 suited, that's he's getting the pile if he has a 3-bet fold range. Remember, this is specifically at 100 antes, right? As you get deeper than 100 antes, of course, if you have 200 antes, this does not apply at all, right? At 200 antes, you should be 3-betting and folding some hands. We're talking about at 100 antes, where we've done the math on previous slides. The math just doesn't add up to a 3-bet fold. Once you have 3-bet at 100 antes to anywhere near a pot-sized bet, you are priced in to call. Some people don't know that. Some people will 3-bet and then fail to call, and you're going to be winning a lot of chips by shoving on these guys rather than flatting their 3-bets. We're also going to choose to limp some of the weaker hands we normally would open. Presumably, part of the reason why they are 3-bet folding instead of just shoving is because they want to have wider 3-bet ranges. They're investing fewer chips to try to get away with their 3-bets. So we're going to get attacked more often when we open from these type of players. So if these players are behind us, we may want to take a couple of the hands that we were going to raise pre-flop and just limp them. So I specifically here would take the hands that I'm not comfortable re-raise shoving. I would still raise the ace-8 and ace-9 suited, which are blocking their ability to call when we 4-bet shove. But I may choose to limp some of the hands that we really want to play a pot with, but we don't really want to shove all in with on a 4-bet. The old Jack-9 offsuit and those type of hands. Now, when we're acting after the villain 3-bets, right? The first two notes apply more often to when the villain acts after us in terms of relative position at the table. But when we're acting after the villain 3-bets, let's say we're directly to the villain's left at the table, we can now cold 4-bet shove hands like Jack-10 suited occasionally that we would normally fold if it actually went raise and shove. And the reason for this is we just have fold equity here. I mean, when we take down the pot pre-flop, we are making a lot of chips by getting this through. So Jack-10 suited is a good hand here. 10-9 suited, even a hand like 7-9 suited, which if it goes call actually plays pretty well 3 ways. 9-8 suited, 8-10 suited, those type of hands would be would be good hands to have in this situation. And we sometimes want to go ahead and 4-bet shove there. And against villains like this who do have a 3-bet fold range, they're going to think that this 4-bet behind range is super nutted, and they're going to give it a lot of credit.